Ever packed for a cruise and thought, I hope I'm not making a huge mistake? You're not alone. Thousands of people step onto cruise ships every year without realizing that one wrong outfit, one misunderstood symbol, or even the wrong pair of shoes can ruin their comfort, their confidence, or their entire vacation. Cruise dress codes are not what they used to be. Some rules are official, some are unspoken, and some can get you turned away at the port, embarrassed at dinner, or quietly judged by everyone around you. But here's the good news. Once you understand how modern cruise ships really work, what's allowed, what's frowned upon, and what can actually get you in trouble, you'll feel relaxed, confident, and completely stress-free the moment you step on board. So today, I'm breaking down the real cruise clothing rules no one explains clearly. No outdated advice. No fashion policing. Just practical, easy-to-understand tips that keep you comfortable, respectful, and totally cruise-ready. If you're packing for your first cruise, or even your 10th, this guide will save you from the awkward moments most passengers learn only after they've already made the mistake. Let's start with the 2 patterns that can cause more trouble than you think. Before we continue, if you haven't subscribed to Cruise Currents yet, please take a moment to subscribe and like the video. It really encourages us to create more cruise content for you. Number 1. The 2 forbidden prints. Let's begin with one of the most surprising parts of cruise packing, something almost no one warns you about until it becomes a problem. These are the prints that seem harmless, but they can lead to uncomfortable situations, and in one case, real legal trouble. The first one is camouflage. On board the ship, camo is perfectly fine. People wear camo shorts, shirts, buckets, hats, no issue at all. But the moment you step off the ship in certain Caribbean ports, the rules change completely. In countries like Jamaica, Barbados, Antigua, and Barbuda, wearing camouflage is illegal for anyone who is not in the military. Not discouraged, not frowned upon, illegal, and it's enforced. That means if you walk off the ship in camo, security can stop you, question you, fine you, or send you right back to the ship. Imagine everyone else heading out excited for their excursions while you're being told to turn around because of your outfit. So the simple rule is this. Camo is for sea days only, never for port days. Now, the second forbidden print isn't illegal, but it sends a message you might not want to send at all, especially around strangers on a cruise. The upside-down pineapple. If you don't know what it means, here's the short version. The upside-down pineapple has become a symbol used by the swinger or lifestyle community. And trust me, many people on board know exactly what it means. Avoid upside-down pineapple prints on bags, shirts, swimsuits, even cabin door decorations. These 2 simple warnings save you from confusion, embarrassment, or unwanted attention before your vacation even begins. Number 2. Swimwear and cover-up rules. Let's move into one of the most misunderstood parts of cruise etiquette. Cruise ships have an incredibly relaxed vibe on the pool deck. You'll see every body type, every color of swimsuit, every style you can imagine. But there are limits, and they're important to understand if you want to avoid awkward moments. Let's start with the swimsuit itself. Cruises are not the place for extremely revealing micro-bikinis, thong styles, or barely there swimwear, especially on family-focused lines like Royal Caribbean, Carnival, Disney, or MSC. There are kids, teenagers, parents, and grandparents everywhere, and cruise lines expect swimwear to stay within basic family-friendly boundaries. Never walk into the buffet while dripping wet. You might think, I'm just grabbing something quick. But water on the floor is a major slip hazard, and cruise safety rules are strict. If you show up soaking wet, the staff will turn you away, sometimes gently, sometimes very firmly, and it can be embarrassing if it happens in front of a long line of people. Swimwear stays on the pool deck. Cover-ups are required indoors. Real clothing, not see-through pieces. You must be dry before entering food areas. Shoes are required in every indoor dining area, no exceptions. Follow these simple rules, and you'll never face the awkward, "I'm sorry, you can't come in like that" moment. Number 3. Shorts and jeans debate. Now let's talk about the topic that sparks the most arguments on every cruise. Can you actually wear shorts and jeans around the ship, or will people silently judge you the whole time? Here's the truth, and the real rules most first-time cruisers miss. Shorts, allowed, but not everywhere. Shorts are perfectly fine around the ship, on deck, at buffets, lounges, bars, pool areas, no problem at all. But here's the catch. Most main dining rooms do not allow shorts at dinner, especially on smart casual or dress-up optional nights. Even if the rules say allowed, some cruise lines still discourage shorts at evening meals. So if you walk in wearing shorts at night, expect a few raised eyebrows. Jeans. Yes, but not the ripped kind. Cruise lines have actually softened their rules. Clean, dark, non-ripped jeans are accepted almost everywhere, including dining rooms. But baggy, distressed, oversized, or ripped jeans can get you turned away at nicer venues. Formal nights usually require something more polished. The unspoken cruise culture rule. Even if the official dress code is relaxed, the culture on board is different. People dress up more than you expect, especially in the evenings. So wearing shorts or old jeans at dinner makes you stand out, and not in a good way. When you should definitely avoid shorts and jeans. Specialty restaurants. Formal or gala night. Captain's dinners. Photo nights. You'll regret the pictures later. Best strategy. Pack 2 decent pants for evenings. Dark jeans for casual dinners. Shorts only for daytime and open deck areas. Number 4. Formal nights confusion. This is the segment that stresses people out the most, because formal night sounds like you're attending a royal wedding. But in reality, cruise lines have changed these rules a lot, and most passengers still follow outdated information. Let's clear it up once and for all. What formal night actually means today. Cruise lines now call it things like dress-up night, evening chic, smart elegant. It's not about tuxedos anymore. It simply means wear something nicer than your daytime outfit. No shorts, no beachwear, no ripped jeans. That's it. What men should wear. You don't need a full suit. Here's what works perfectly. Dress shirt plus trousers. Optional blazer. Dark jeans, if allowed by the cruise line. Nice shoes, not flip-flops. If you want to go extra fancy, good, but it's not required. What women should wear. Women have it easier. A simple dress. A jumpsuit. A nice blouse with trousers. Light evening accessories. You do not need gowns or heavy formal outfits unless you want the photos to look premium. What will get you denied entry? This part shocks first-time cruisers. Shorts. Tank tops. Swimwear. T-shirts with big graphics. Flip-flops. Ripped jeans. Some restaurants enforce it strictly, especially on traditional cruise lines. Why people still dress up anyway? Even though the rules are more relaxed, passengers enjoy the tradition. It's the night with professional photographers, special menus, a fancier vibe, captain's meet and greet. So most people naturally level up their outfits. The secret tip. If you hate dressing up, go to the buffet. No dress code, zero pressure. Number 5. Ripped or distressed clothing. This is the rule that surprises almost everyone, because people assume cruises are relaxed, beachy, vacation vibes. But when it comes to ripped or distressed clothing, cruise lines draw a very clear line. Let's break it down. Ripped jeans are the most commonly rejected clothing item. You might get away with them in casual lounges, outdoor decks, pool bars, buffet areas. But the moment you walk into a main dining room or a specialty restaurant, ripped jeans become a problem. Even small knee cuts or fashionable distressing can get you politely turned away. Why cruise lines don't allow them? It has nothing to do with being fancy. It's about maintaining a classic dining environment. Ripped clothing gives a laid-back look that doesn't fit the evening atmosphere they're trying to maintain. Cruise lines want the dining room to feel clean, polished, elevated, photogenic. Ripped or distressed denim breaks that standard instantly. If you want comfort without risking rejection, dark, clean denim, non-ripped jeans, casual trousers, stretch chinos, very popular with cruisers. The social aspect nobody talks about. Even if the staff lets you in, other passengers might stare or comment, especially on traditional cruise lines. People take evening dining seriously on ships, more than on land. Number 6. Pajamas, slippers, and bathrobes. Now this one is funny, but also surprisingly common. Some passengers treat the cruise ship like their personal living room, walking to breakfast in pajamas, strolling to the deck in slippers, even showing up at guest services in a bathrobe. Let's clear up exactly what's allowed And what will get you some serious side-eye? Pajamas. Comfortable, yes, but not public clothing. Pajamas are meant for your cabin only. Cruise lines expect guests to be dressed in regular clothing once they step outside. If you walk into the buffet, guest services, hallways, lounges, wearing pajamas, you won't get kicked out, but you will look out of place and unpolished. And trust me, people notice. Slippers. Only acceptable inside your cabin. Cabin slippers are for your room and balcony. They're not suitable for indoor public spaces and definitely not for restaurants. You may see someone wearing them for a quick ice run or stepping out to grab a towel, but for anything longer, it's a big no. Bathrobes. The biggest misunderstanding. Cruise bathrobes, especially the fluffy white ones, are tempting to wear around. But here's how it actually works. Allowed. Walking from your cabin to the spa. Walking to or from the thermal suite. Going to the balcony. Not allowed. Dining rooms. Lounges. Buffets. Hallways for long periods. Pool bars. Wearing a bathrobe outside the spa area instantly makes you look like you woke up late and ran out the door. What to wear instead? If you want comfort without embarrassment, ask yourself, would I wear this to a hotel lobby? If the answer is no, then it's no on a cruise too. Number 7. Offensive or profane clothing. This is one rule cruise lines take very seriously, and a lot of first-time cruisers don't realize how strict it is until they're stopped by security or politely asked to change. Cruise ships are family environments. That means anything offensive, graphic, or inappropriate on clothing is not allowed, even if it's just a joke. Let's break down exactly what counts. Clothing with profanity is an automatic no. If your shirt has curse words, slang versions of curse words, sexual jokes, innuendos, vulgar phrases, you will be told to change immediately. Security on most cruise lines is trained to approach you politely but firmly. Offensive graphics are banned too. Even if the shirt doesn't use words, the images matter. Cruises have kids everywhere, so clothing with jokes like, "I'm here for the booze," send nudes, adult humor, stereotype jokes, political insults, isn't considered funny on board. It's considered disruptive. What's safe to wear instead? Stick to plain t-shirts, cruise-themed shirts, graphic tees without text, tropical prints, minimal designs. These fit the fun vibe and avoid unnecessary attention. Number 8. Baseball caps in dining rooms. This is one of the most misunderstood cruise rules because people wear caps everywhere on vacation. But once you walk into a dining room, that baseball cap on your head becomes a problem. Let's break down why cruise lines care so much about this one simple item. Daytime? Yes. Evening dining rooms? Big no. Baseball caps are totally fine during the day, on deck, at the buffet, at bars, in lounges, even inside the ship. But the moment you enter main dining rooms, specialty restaurants, formal night venues, caps are considered inappropriate. Even casual cruise lines enforce this gently but firmly. Why cruise lines don't allow caps at dinner? It's all about maintaining a polished, restaurant-style atmosphere. Baseball caps signal casual, outdoors, streetwear, pool deck vibe. And that clashes with the evening dining experience most cruise lines try to create. Number 9. Overpowering perfumes and colognes. This one doesn't sound like a dress code rule, but trust me, on a cruise ship, your scent travels farther than you think, and wearing strong perfume or cologne can cause more problems than most passengers realize. Here's why cruise lines quietly discourage it, and what you should do instead. Cruise ships are enclosed spaces. Unlike hotels, cruise ships have narrow hallways, enclosed dining areas, compact lounges, elevators packed with people. A strong perfume that might smell fine outdoors becomes overwhelming inside tight ship spaces. You may not smell it anymore, but everyone else does. Triggering allergies is a big issue on board. Many passengers have asthma, allergies, sensitivity to fragrance, migraines triggered by strong scents. If someone reports discomfort or breathing issues caused by your scent, staff can approach you discreetly and ask you to tone it down. Yes, it happens. Number 10. Key clothing rules for men. Cruise dress codes can feel confusing, especially for men who just want to pack simple, clean outfits without overthinking. So here's a straightforward, no-nonsense guide every man should follow. The real rules that matter on board. These are the clothing expectations cruise lines enforce quietly but consistently. T-shirts. Okay in daytime, not for dinner. During the day, T-shirts are perfect. Indoors, outdoors, on deck. But at dinner? Avoid graphic tees. Avoid oversized or worn-out shirts. And avoid anything with logos that look too casual. A clean polo or button-down is a much safer choice. Shorts. Wear them everywhere except evening dining. Men can wear shorts all day long, at ports, on decks, during activities. But in the evening dining rooms, shorts are the most common reason men get turned away. Tank tops. Daytime only. Tank tops are great for pool decks or hitting the gym. But inside lounges, dining rooms, bars, or theaters, no. They look too beachy for indoor spaces. Throw on a t-shirt or polo if you're heading inside. Collared shirts make everything easier. Packing 2 to 3 polos or button-downs solves 80% of dress code problems. These work for casual nights, specialty dining, photos, bars and lounges. You instantly look cruise-appropriate without trying. Number 11. Shoes that can ruin your vacation. This is the segment most first-time cruisers wish they knew before they stepped on board. Because nothing destroys a cruise faster than foot pain, blisters, or being denied access to activities because you packed the wrong shoes. This one simple mistake can physically ruin your entire vacation. So let's break it down clearly and simply. Bringing brand new shoes. It doesn't matter if they're stylish sneakers, dress shoes, sandals, comfort walking shoes. If they're brand new and not broken in, they will hurt you. Wear your cruise shoes at home for at least 2 to 3 days before packing them. Closed-toe athletic shoes. Here's what many passengers don't realize. Some of the best cruise activities require closed-toe shoes, no exceptions. This includes ropes courses, rock climbing walls, zip lines, go-karts. Show up in sandals or flip-flops, and they'll simply turn you away. Number 12. Flashy jewelry warning. This final rule doesn't get talked about enough, and it's one of the most important for your safety when you step off the ship. When you're walking around Caribbean ports, Central American towns, or even busy Mediterranean markets, the last thing you want to do is stand out as an easy target. And nothing makes you stand out faster than flashy, expensive jewelry. I'm talking about diamond necklaces, luxury watches, thick gold chains, designer bracelets, high-end wedding rings you'd never want to lose. Here's the truth. Cruise ports are beautiful, but they're also busy tourist zones. And in any crowded tourist zone, petty theft is a real thing. Pickpockets, grab-and-run thieves, and chain snatchers look for signals, and jewelry is one of the strongest. Even if you feel safe, even if you're with a group, wearing something shiny instantly tells the wrong person that you're carrying value. And because passengers are coming from the ship, they already assume you're wealthy enough to have things worth stealing. The solution is simple and stress-free. Leave anything valuable locked in your cabin safe. Your best pieces can stay safely on board, waiting for formal night. And there you have it, 12 smart, practical rules that keep you confident, comfortable, and completely stress-free on your cruise. From avoiding embarrassing dress code mistakes, to staying safe in port, to packing the right shoes so your vacation doesn't get derailed by blisters. Each of these tips comes from real cruise experiences, the wins and the mistakes that thousands of travelers learn the hard way. But now, you won't. You're stepping on board with insider knowledge that most first-time cruisers never hear about. If this helped you feel more prepared for your trip, give this video a like. It really helps the channel grow. Until next time, enjoy your trip, stay confident, and happy cruising.